Welcome to lesson 6. This is kind of fun. It's how you automatically correct an image. So there's a faster way to do it that's more automated, and Photoshop makes the decisions versus what we were doing previously in the previous lessons, where we had more control over what was happening with the image. So there's times to have more control and use levels and color correction methods that are more specific. And then there's also great times where you can just use the automated options. But I think it's really smart to know both ways of doing it, the automated version versus where you have more control and can be really specific. Because not everything is a cookie cutter. Not everything can be automated and look perfect. So go ahead and open up our last image called skull.jpg. And the three tools that correct the brightness and contrast automatically are auto tone, auto contrast, and auto color. So if you go up to image, the very, very top drop down in your navigation, you'll see you've got auto tone, auto contrast, and auto color. So these are the three automated options. And where we were previously was under adjustments, where we were working with hue and saturation and color balance and levels and curves. So these are the automated options right here, where you can automatically do that. And I want to compare and contrast these options so you can see how they work. All right, so you got your skull.jpg open. You'll notice that this image has a low contrast and it has more of a purpley tint. So let's duplicate this image 3 times. And the way that we do that, it's really easy, is you go to Image, Duplicate. So we're going to create a duplicate. I'm going to name my first duplicate image. I'm going to call it Auto Tone. And click OK. And notice I've got my original skull up here in my tab, and now I've got my Auto Tone. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the image again by going Image, Duplicate. And I'm going to name this image Auto Contrast. And click OK. We're going to duplicate one more time. Image, duplicate. And I'm going to call this last image auto color. All right. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to view all images at once by going to Window, Arrange, and we're going to do 4 up. So that means we're going to see all 4 images in our screen at once. I'm going to go ahead and hide my layers panel. So we've got auto color, auto tone, auto, I can't see it, auto contrast, and our original skull image. So let's look at our histogram really quickly. I'm going to click on just auto tone and go to Window, Histogram. Remember, I want to select RGB for my channels. And you'll see we've got no lights and no darks. All the information is here in the center. So we need to change this histogram, and we'll compare that. I'll keep that open so we can take a look at that as we go. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to apply the auto tone to the auto tone image. So make sure you have auto tone selected in your tabs, and simply go up to Image, Auto Tone. And look at how our histogram changed. We've got a little bit more information here. Versus if I click on my original skull, you'll see that histogram. So that quickly added, the auto tone added some great highlights and contrast there and shadows. All right, so let's go to our auto contrast image, which I have right here. You'll see our histogram again. It's the same, it's got no lights and no darks. So let's go to Image, Auto Contrast. So this is great. Added some brightness and contrast, and it's better, but it's still a little purplish, right? And you can see our auto tone is brown. This has got a little more purple going on. And you can also click back and forth on these and see how the histogram changes, which is kind of neat. All right, so let's go to our last image. Let's click on auto color. So we go up to Image, Auto Color, and This is the best of the three. It's still a little green, um, but it's got a nice mixture of browns and purples. I think this is the best. But you can see compared to our original skull, all three of these are very different, but also improvements. So here's the fun part. You're able to mix um, and choose between these two options. So I think the best mix would be between the auto color and the auto tone. So let's see if we can create a mixture between this kind of, more purplish version and this more brownish version. And the way that you do this is go ahead and make sure you have your auto color image activated in your window, and then go up to Image, Apply Image. And this is where you can mix options between the images that you have open. So we're going to go ahead and set our source to auto tone. So we're selecting the source of our uh, kind of combination to auto tone. We're going to keep the blending normal. And we're going to change the opacity to about 60%. So we're going to reveal about 40% of our auto color image. So so if you hide and click and review the preview, you can see how we've just mixed the two. It's really, really cool. So we've blended together auto color and auto tone. We're going to click OK. And so this is going to be our final perfect image. You'll see we have a nice histogram now versus the original. If I click on the tab, skull picture. So you've added some information, which is great. So that is how you use the automated color correction options in Photoshop.